Captain Alex Mercer stood at the edge of the bustling spaceport, staring at the swirl of activity before him. Ships of every shape and size hovered, landed, or prepared to leave. Alien merchants called out in strange melodic languages. Humans hurried between terminals carrying luggage and cargo, the smell of exotic spices mixed with the faint tang of fuel and ozone. Alex adjusted the strap of his satchel, feeling both excited and cautious. This was his first official mission beyond the border worlds, and the task was delicate. He was to establish friendly relations with a newly contacted species, the Avirian, who had remained isolated for centuries. Their civilization was advanced, but their customs were mysterious. Diplomacy would require not just intelligence, but charm and patience. As he walked through the terminal, Alex's communicator buzzed. He answered, and a calm voice greeted him. "Captain Mercer, this is Ambassador Core. Your contact is waiting for you at Dock 9. Be careful." The Avirian are known for their subtlety and charm. Alex nodded, even though the ambassador could not see him. "Understood. I'll be careful." Dock 9 was at the far end of the port, a quiet area compared to the crowded main terminal. There, waiting beside a sleek, hovering transport, was Lyria. She stood tall, her figure elegant and graceful, her skin shimmering faintly in the sunlight. Her eyes, large and expressive, reflected a soft gold hue that seemed to change depending on the angle. Alex couldn't help but notice how different she looked compared to humans. Yet there was something about her that felt familiar. "Captain Mercer," Lyria said, her voice smooth and melodic. "I am pleased to meet you." "The pleasure is mine," Alex replied, bowing slightly out of respect. "Your world. It's beautiful from here." Lyria smiled, a small knowing curl of her lips. "It is even more so when you are among it. Come, I would like to invite you to my home. It is a place where we can speak freely and share ideas." Alex hesitated for only a moment. He had read the reports about the Avirian. They were cautious but curious. Hosting a visitor in their home was a sign of trust. "I would be honored to accept your invitation," he said. Lyria gestured toward her transport. It floated effortlessly above the ground, its surface smooth and reflective. Alex stepped inside, marveling at the interior. It was spacious, with soft lighting and panels that displayed star maps and environmental data. The air smelled faintly sweet, like blooming flowers, but with a clean, metallic undertone. As the transport lifted off, Alex observed the landscape below. The planet's surface was covered in glowing forests that pulsed softly with light. Rivers shimmered with a silvery hue. Towering crystalline structures jutted into the sky, glinting in the sun. It was unlike anything Alex had ever seen. "You seem fascinated," Lyria said, glancing at him with curiosity. "I am," Alex admitted. "I've never seen a world like this. The light, the colors, it feels alive." "It is alive," Lyria replied. "Everything here is connected. My people call it the heart of Aviria." The transport hovered silently above a massive floating structure, sleek and white, suspended above the glowing forest. Its design was elegant and alien, with curves that seemed impossible yet natural. Alex felt a mixture of awe and unease. "Your home. It's incredible," he said. "Thank you," Lyria replied. "Please follow me inside." The interior was vast, almost cathedral-like, with high ceilings and walls that shimmered softly. Soft, glowing vines spiraled around pillars, giving the room a natural yet technological feel. Alex could see that the floor was a smooth material that seemed to adjust its firmness to each step he took. As they walked, Lyria spoke of her people's history, their innovations, and their ways of life. Alex listened, fascinated. He asked questions about their technology, their culture, and the way they balanced nature with progress. Lyria answered patiently, with the kind of clarity that only a species that had lived in harmony for centuries could have. Yet, as impressive as everything was, Alex noticed small details that made him pause. Some rooms were completely empty, almost unnaturally so. Certain panels emitted a low hum like the echo of a heartbeat, and outside, through the large transparent walls, he saw faint glimmering lights moving among the trees, lights that seemed to watch him as much as he watched them. Alex shook off the feeling, reminding himself that it was a new world. Perhaps he was simply overthinking. "Your people value privacy," he said carefully. "We do," Lyria said, her eyes narrowing slightly, not in hostility but in thought. "But privacy is different from secrecy. You will see that soon enough." They reached a sitting area that looked out over the glowing forest. Soft cushions and chairs lined the space, and a table held a variety of alien fruits that glimmered faintly. Lyria motioned for him to sit. "I hope you will try some," she said. "Our fruits are unlike any you have tasted on other planets." Alex picked up a small glowing fruit and took a bite. The flavor was sharp, sweet, and completely foreign. He smiled. "Delicious," he said. "I am glad you like it," Lyria said. "I want you to feel welcome here." The Avirian believed that sharing food is the first step toward understanding one another. They talked for hours, discussing trade, science, and diplomacy. Alex was careful to remain respectful, noting the subtle ways Lyria guided the conversation. She was charming, intelligent, and clearly used her words with precision. Yet behind her warmth, Alex sensed a quiet strength and a hint of calculation. As the conversation continued, Alex noticed how her home seemed to adjust to his presence. The lighting shifted subtly, the temperature changed, and soft music filled the air. It was as if the structure itself was alive, responding to emotions and movements. Finally, Lyria leaned back, her eyes studying him intently. "Captain Mercer, I must ask, do you believe first impressions are ever truly accurate?" Alex considered her question. "Not always. People, or species, often show what they want you to see first." She nodded slowly. "Indeed, that is something all diplomats must learn. And yet it is also the first step toward trust. I have invited you here because I believe in building trust, even if it must be tested." Alex felt a shiver run down his spine. Lyria's words were gentle, but there was an edge to them, a subtle warning. He realized that this visit was not just about diplomacy. It was a test, an evaluation. And he had agreed to it willingly. As the twin suns of Aviria began to set, casting long, shimmering shadows across the forest, Lyria stood and gestured for him to follow. "Come with me," she said. "There is something I wish to show you before the day ends." Alex followed her through corridors that twisted and curved like the branches of trees, each turn revealing more wonders of the Avirian world. They passed rooms filled with softly glowing water, walls embedded with crystals that hummed in harmonic tones, and gardens where alien plants moved as though they were breathing. Finally, they reached a balcony overlooking a vast expanse of forest and crystal spires. The light of the setting suns reflected off the structures, creating a kaleidoscope of colors. Lyria stood silently for a moment, letting Alex take it all in. "It is beautiful," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "I can see why your people are so connected to this world." Lyria smiled softly. "It is our home, our legacy, and now it is yours, even if only for a short while. But remember, Captain Mercer, beauty and danger often walk side by side. The more you learn, the more careful you must be." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of her words. There was more to Lyria, more to this world than met the eye, and somehow he knew that this visit was only the beginning of a story far larger than he had imagined. As night fell, the lights of the forest and the floating crystals glimmered like stars below them. Alex stood on the balcony, taking in the alien world and the woman who had invited him into it. He could not shake the feeling that he had entered a place of wonders, and also of secrets. For the first time he realized that being a human in this galaxy meant more than exploration and diplomacy. It meant courage, adaptability, and the ability to see through appearances, and if he wanted to succeed here, he would need all of those qualities and more. Lyria turned to him, her eyes glimmering in the soft light. "Rest now, Captain Mercer. Tomorrow we will continue our discussions. There is much you have yet to see and much you have yet to understand." Alex nodded, feeling a mixture of anticipation and unease. He had thought her innocent when she invited him to her home. But as he looked at the softly glowing horizon and the elegant, enigmatic alien before him, he realized that innocence might be only the surface. Beneath it lay intelligence, ambition, and perhaps danger, and he, a human among stars, was ready to face it. The morning light spilled softly across the floating structure as Captain Alex Mercer awoke. The soft hum of the building systems and the faint scent of alien flora filled the room. He stretched and looked out the window. The forest below glowed with bioluminescent plants, painting the landscape in shades of blue and green, even as sunlight touched the tips of the crystal spires. It was breathtaking. A soft chime sounded, indicating that Lyria awaited him in the main hall. Alex adjusted his uniform and made his way through corridors that twisted elegantly like the branches of a giant tree. Walls shimmered faintly, reflecting both light and color in a subtle dance. The building was alive in ways that humans could only begin to understand. Lyria waited at the end of the corridor, her golden eyes watching him. She moved with grace, her posture confident but welcoming. "Good morning, Captain Mercer," she said. "I hope you rested well." "I did," Alex replied. "Your home? It's unlike anything I've seen before. I could spend a lifetime exploring and still not see everything." Lyria smiled faintly. "Perhaps. But today, I would like to show you the heart of it, the parts that hold meaning for my people and for me." They walked together through a series of rooms, each more fascinating than the last. One room appeared to be a library, with floating holographic books that shimmered as they hovered. Another contained small gardens where plants moved in response to the presence of humans, turning toward Alex as if curious. "This home is alive," Alex said, genuinely amazed. "It reacts to your presence." "It does," Lyria replied. "Our architecture is designed to harmonize with nature, but also to respond to thought and emotion. You may feel it now, and it will continue to change with your actions." Alex felt a faint shiver. The idea that the building itself was aware was unsettling yet fascinating. "It's incredible," he said. Lyria led him into a large central hall where the walls were embedded with crystals that pulsed softly. The floor was a smooth, semi-transparent material, revealing a layer of glowing roots beneath. Sunlight streamed through the ceiling, refracted into colors Alex did not recognize. "Here," Lyria said, motioning to a wide staircase that curved gracefully upward. "I will show you the chambers where our people create, innovate, and observe. You will see our history and our potential." As they ascended, Alex noticed a series of small rooms off the main hall. Each one contained devices and instruments he did not understand, some glowing faintly, some vibrating with energy. "What are these?" he asked. "Tools of observation and study," Lyria replied. "My people seek understanding of the universe. Some of these are personal, some collective. They capture light, sound, and energy in ways that humans cannot yet imagine." Alex nodded, impressed. "Your civilization is advanced, beyond anything I could have expected." Lyria's smile deepened. "We have had time to grow, Captain. Time to learn from our mistakes. But knowledge alone is not enough. Wisdom must guide it." They reached a room that appeared to be a laboratory, though unlike any laboratory Alex had ever seen. The walls shimmered with energy, and delicate structures floated in mid-air, changing shape as if alive. Transparent tubes contained glowing fluids, and strange crystalline devices emitted soft, harmonic tones. "This is where I conduct research," Lyria explained. "Some of it is public, some private." Alex noticed a subtle shift in the atmosphere. The room seemed to pulse with energy, almost as if it were aware of him. "Private?" he asked, raising an eyebrow. "Yes," Lyria said softly. "Not all knowledge is ready to be shared. Some discoveries must remain hidden until the time is right." Alex studied the devices carefully. "I see, you're cautious." Cautious was one word for it. He could feel the intelligence behind her words, the careful balance of charm and control. Lyria's invitation had not been a simple act of hospitality. It was a deliberate choice to let him in, to show him certain things and conceal others, yet he felt no fear. Instead, he was intrigued. Humans were explorers by nature, and his curiosity was already engaged. "I understand," he said. "And I respect it," Lyria nodded. "Good. Respect and understanding are the first steps toward cooperation. But there is more you must see." She led him down a long corridor that curved along the structure's edge. Outside, the forest stretched endlessly, glowing softly. Alex noticed movement among the trees, small shapes flitting between the plants. He wondered if they were animals or constructs. The Avirian forest was alive in ways that seemed intelligent. They entered a room filled with screens and displays. Holographic images floated in the air, showing landscapes, planets, and stars. Alex saw his own ship floating in the spaceport far below. He realized the Avirian could observe the world from anywhere, a network of knowledge and awareness. "This is our observation chamber," Lyria said. "From here we can see and study many worlds. We do not interfere lightly. Observation is the first step toward understanding." Alex leaned closer to a display showing planetary systems. "You can see everything." "Almost everything," he said. "Yes," Lyria replied, "but seeing is not the same as controlling. We learn from what exists, not from what we create. The universe has its own path, and wisdom lies in understanding it without forcing it." As they moved to another section of the structure, Alex noticed something strange. One room was entirely dark, though the walls and floor appeared the same as elsewhere. A soft hum came from inside. "What is this room?" he asked. "That room," Lyria said carefully, "is where potential meets caution. It contains experiments in progress, things that may change the course of life on my planet and others. They are not ready for human eyes." Alex nodded, respecting her words, though his curiosity flared. Humans were explorers, after all. The desire to understand, to know, was in their nature. He reminded himself to be cautious. Lyria's warnings were serious. They continued through the structure, and Alex began to notice subtle patterns. The building responded to his movements. Lights shifted, doors opened before he reached them, and soft vibrations ran through the floor. He realized that the entire structure was alive in a sense, connected to Lyria's thoughts and perhaps the thoughts of her people. "Your home. It feels like it knows me," he said. "In a way it does," Lyria replied. "Our buildings are extensions of our minds, shaped by intention and thought. They respond to presence, yes, but also to understanding. A visitor who respects the home is treated differently than one who does not." Alex felt a mixture of awe and humility. This was unlike anything he had ever experienced. Humans built machines, cities, even ships, but nothing that could truly think and respond as this structure did. Finally, Lyria led him to a terrace overlooking the forest. The glowing plants stretched out endlessly, and the sky above shimmered with two suns. Alex felt a sense of peace, though a faint unease lingered. There was beauty here, but also the sense of hidden layers, secrets that even Lyria had not yet revealed. "Captain Mercer," Lyria said softly, "I invited you here not just to see my home, but to understand my people. They are cautious, yes, but not unkind. They value intelligence, curiosity, and courage. These are qualities humans have in abundance." Alex smiled faintly. "I will do my best to live up to your expectations." "I believe you will," she said. "But understand this, not all is as it seems. Beauty can hide danger, trust must be earned, and observation must be careful." Alex nodded. He felt a thrill of anticipation. Lyria had welcomed him into her home, shown him wonders beyond imagining, and yet he sensed that the true lessons were only beginning. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shifting shadows across the terrace, Alex knew that he had entered a world both extraordinary and enigmatic. The invitation had been genuine, but it carried purpose. Lyria's eyes held his, golden and reflective. "Rest now, Captain. Tomorrow we will explore further. There is much you have yet to understand and much to see, but always remember, curiosity is a gift, and wisdom is the key to using it safely." Alex felt the weight of her words. He had thought her innocent when she had invited him here, but he now understood that intelligence and purpose lay beneath that surface. He had entered a home of wonders, and he would need all of his human qualities to navigate it. As night fell, the lights of the forest below shimmered like countless tiny stars. Alex felt both excitement and a quiet tension. This was only the beginning of his journey in Averia, a world of beauty, intelligence, and secrets. He looked at Lyria one last time before retiring for the night. She was smiling softly, serene yet watchful. For the first time, Alex understood that in this galaxy, humans were not the only clever beings, but they were capable of remarkable things when they trusted themselves. And tomorrow, he would see just how far human ingenuity could go in a world that challenged every expectation he had. The next morning, Captain Alex Mercer awoke to the soft melodic hum of Lyria's home. The bioluminescent forest outside glowed gently even in the early light, painting the floating structure with hues of blue, green, and soft gold. Today, Lyria had promised to show him the heart of Averia, and Alex felt both excitement and apprehension. He followed her down a twisting corridor, past rooms filled with shimmering flora and glowing crystals. Each space seemed alive, responding subtly to their steps. Alex had grown accustomed to the feeling that the home itself was aware of his presence, but the sensation still sent a chill down his spine. Lyria led him to a section of the structure he had not seen before. The walls here were smooth and pale, with faint patterns shifting like water in sunlight. The air was slightly warmer, tinged with an unfamiliar fragrance, earthy yet sweet. At the far end, a door opened to reveal a room unlike any other he had entered. "This," Lyria said, "is my private research chamber." Alex stepped inside carefully. The room was spacious and bright with soft, glowing panels on the walls. Crystalline instruments floated mid-air, rotating slowly and emitting delicate harmonics. Tubes of liquid glimmered like captured starlight, and small enclosed habitats held alien creatures he had never seen before. Some had wings of translucent light, while others moved gracefully on multiple legs, their eyes gleaming with intelligence. "It's amazing," Alex said, stepping closer to a small enclosure containing a creature with soft, radiant fur. "What are these?" "They are subjects of study," Lyria said, her tone calm but precise. "We observe their development, their adaptation, and their abilities. Some of these creatures are unique to Averia. Others are modifications, careful enhancements meant to study how life can adapt across planets." Alex felt a flicker of unease. "Enhancements?" he asked. "Do you change them?" Lyria nodded. "Yes, carefully. Each change is designed to test a specific capability: intelligence, resilience, adaptability. We do not harm them. We guide their development." Alex's curiosity battled his caution. "And these experiments, are they all safe?" "They are," Lyria replied softly. "But some are unpredictable. That is why I keep this chamber private. Not all knowledge is ready for general use. Observation must precede action." Alex looked around at the creatures. Their movements were elegant, almost playful, but there was an underlying intelligence in their eyes. He realized that Lyria was not just a hostess or diplomat. She was a scientist, a creator of life in ways humans could barely imagine. "This is remarkable," Alex said. "Your species. You have abilities humans can only dream of." Lyria smiled faintly. "We have had time to evolve, to learn, but we are cautious. Curiosity without caution can be dangerous." Alex studied one particular enclosure. Inside, a small creature hovered midair, its wings generating soft arcs of light. It seemed to understand his gaze, tilting its head as if studying him in return. Alex felt a connection, a silent communication that crossed species barriers. "It's almost aware," he said quietly. "It is," Lyria confirmed. "All life carries awareness. The degree varies, but understanding it is the first step to cooperation." Alex nodded slowly. He could not deny the brilliance of her work, but a faint worry stirred in him. Humanity had explored and experimented, but the stakes were always visible. Here the consequences could ripple through worlds. Lyria observed him, her expression calm but intent. "Captain Mercer, you must understand something. My invitation was genuine, but it was also deliberate. I needed to see how you would respond, not just to beauty and hospitality, but to the unknown. You are human. Your species is clever, adaptive, and brave. I wanted to witness these qualities firsthand." Alex blinked, surprised. "You invited me to test me?" "In a manner of speaking," she said. "Not to deceive, but to learn. Diplomacy requires understanding, and understanding requires observation." Alex nodded, accepting the explanation. He was beginning to see the depth of Lyria's mind. Her charm was only the surface of a carefully measured intelligence. Suddenly, a soft alarm sounded. A panel on one wall glowed red. Alex's attention snapped to it. One of the habitats had activated unexpectedly. The creature inside, a small winged form like the one he had admired, was fluttering frantically, its wings creating arcs of light that sparked against the enclosure. Lyria's expression shifted, concern flickering across her face. "It seems we have a containment issue," she said. "The creature is responding unpredictably to the environmental shift." "Stay back." Alex instinctively moved closer, analyzing the situation. The enclosure's field was failing, and the creature was small but strong and fast. He realized that if it escaped, it could damage sensitive equipment or worse, harm itself. "Can I help?" he asked. Lyria studied him, then nodded. "Perhaps use caution. Observe first, act second." Alex approached the controls. Using his human intuition and problem-solving skills, he quickly assessed the field's energy pattern. He manipulated the controls to stabilize the enclosure, but the creature's wings still generated dangerous arcs. Thinking quickly, Alex used a nearby panel to create a soft energy barrier in front of him, shielding both himself and the instruments. The creature, sensing the new barrier, hovered midair, then slowly calmed. Alex adjusted the controls further, gradually returning the enclosure to its normal state. Lyria watched silently, her eyes narrowing in admiration. After a tense few minutes, the creature settled, floating calmly inside its habitat. Alex exhaled, realizing how close the situation had been to disaster. That was impressive, Lyria said quietly. You adapted quickly and without fear. Many would have panicked, Alex smiled faintly. Humans survive by thinking fast. We improvise when needed. You design your experiments carefully, but the unexpected still happens. Exactly, Lyria said. And your response shows the qualities I respect. Curiosity, intelligence, and courage. Traits humans possess in abundance, yet often underestimate in themselves. Alex studied her carefully. Her praise felt genuine, but he could sense an underlying lesson. Lyria had not only invited him to her home, but had placed him in a situation where his abilities were tested. The experience had revealed not just the creature's intelligence, but his own. I understand, he said, and I respect the responsibility you carry. The creatures, the experiments, they require wisdom as much as knowledge. They do, Lyria replied, and that is why trust is important. You are beginning to understand the depth of my people's philosophy, observation, understanding, and respect. These guide all that we do. Alex walked slowly around the room, taking in the floating instruments, the glowing fluids, and the small habitats. Each one seemed to represent a balance of caution and innovation. The Avirian were brilliant, yes, but they measured every action with foresight. I see why your home is alive, he said softly. It's not just architecture. It's an extension of your people, of your intelligence and values. Lyria's eyes glimmered. Correct. This home, like my research, is a reflection of our philosophy. Life, learning, and adaptation are intertwined. And now, Captain Mercer, you have experienced a small part of that truth. Alex nodded, feeling both awe and responsibility. He realized that he had entered a world where every action mattered, where intelligence was paired with foresight, and where humans had to rely on their ingenuity to navigate complex situations. You've tested me, he said finally. Not to trick me, but to teach me. Exactly, Lyria said, smiling faintly. Trust must be earned even in a home of hospitality, and observation is the first step toward wisdom. The rest of the day passed with more discussions as Lyria explained her research in theoretical terms. She showed Alex simulations of creatures adapting to alien environments, how life could evolve under different conditions, and how intelligence could manifest in forms unfamiliar to humans. Alex asked questions constantly, his mind racing with ideas. The Avirians' approach to science was different from humanity's, yet there were parallels. Humans adapted quickly, observed carefully, and used ingenuity to solve problems. Lyria's people had mastered similar principles but with far greater control and foresight. As evening approached, Lyria led Alex to a quiet terrace overlooking the glowing forest. The twin suns dipped lower, casting long shadows and painting the sky in shades of orange and violet. Captain Mercer, she said softly, you have seen my world, my research, and my people's philosophy. But remember this, even in beauty and intelligence there is unpredictability. Life cannot be fully controlled, only understood and guided. Alex nodded, feeling the weight of her words. He had come to Lyria's home expecting hospitality and diplomacy. Instead, he had witnessed brilliant, subtle testing and the delicate balance of power and care. I understand, he said, and I am grateful for the experience. Your home, your people, they are remarkable. They are, Lyria said. And you have shown qualities that are equally remarkable. Courage, intelligence, and adaptability. These are what make humans respected, even among advanced civilizations. Alex felt a surge of pride, tempered by the realization that he was only beginning to understand this world. Lyria's home was not merely a place of beauty. It was a place of learning, of challenge, and of revelation. As night fell, the lights of the forest shimmered like countless tiny stars. Alex stood with Lyria on the terrace, feeling both awe and anticipation. He had thought the alien woman was innocent when she... The morning on Aviria began with a soft glow that bathed the floating structure in warm light. Captain Alex Mercer woke feeling alert, his mind buzzing with thoughts from the previous day. Lyria had shown him more than just the beauty of her home. She had revealed a glimpse of her people's intelligence and precision. Yet he sensed that the real test of his skills had yet to come. He dressed quickly and followed Lyria down the twisting corridors. Today, she promised, he would see more of the laboratory, and perhaps learn the purpose of some of the experiments he had only glimpsed yesterday. Alex's curiosity was sharp, but he remained cautious. Lyria's home, though beautiful, had proven to be full of surprises. They entered a large chamber filled with delicate instruments and floating devices. The air shimmered faintly as energy pulsed through the walls. Tubes containing glowing liquids reflected the morning light, and small creatures hovered in midair, their wings emitting arcs of luminescence. "Today," Lyria said softly, "you will observe a critical process. It requires focus, understanding, and the ability to adapt. Are you prepared?" "I am," Alex said, his voice steady. Humans thrived under pressure, and he had learned from experience that calm observation often revealed solutions others might miss. Lyria led him to a habitat at the center of the room. A medium-sized creature with translucent wings and shimmering fur hovered inside. Its eyes glowed faintly, reflecting intelligence beyond what Alex had expected. "This creature is part of an experiment in environmental adaptation," Lyria explained. "It has been exposed to a series of controlled variables, light, temperature, and energy fields, to observe how quickly it can adapt. Today we test its response to sudden changes." Alex watched carefully. The creature tilted its head, aware of the humans in the room. Its movements were fluid, almost graceful, but there was a restlessness in its wings. He understood that even with Lyria's careful control, unpredictability could arise. Suddenly, a panel on the wall glowed red. An alert sounded. A containment field was weakening. The creature fluttered in agitation, and small arcs of energy sparked from its wings, striking the instruments around it. Alex's heart raced. If the creature escaped, it could damage sensitive equipment or even harm itself. "Containment is failing," Lyria said calmly but with urgency. "Act quickly." Alex assessed the situation. The creature was small but fast and intelligent. Traditional containment methods might fail. He needed to stabilize the field without harming the creature. Thinking quickly, he grabbed a nearby control panel and adjusted the energy flow, creating a soft barrier between himself and the creature. The creature paused, sensing the change. Alex carefully modified the field, redirecting energy in a way that calmed the creature's agitation. Sparks still flew, but they were contained within the protective barrier. Lyria watched silently, her expression showing both concern and anticipation. Alex noticed a pattern in the creature's movements. It tended to avoid certain areas where the energy density was higher. He realized that by guiding the creature toward a safer zone within the habitat, he could stabilize it without shutting down the experiment entirely. Using a combination of instinct and observation, Alex manipulated the controls, subtly nudging the creature toward the center of the habitat. The arcs of energy decreased, and the floating instruments stabilized. Lyria's eyes widened slightly, clearly impressed. Within moments, the containment field returned to normal. The creature hovered calmly, wings still glowing but no longer sparking dangerously. Alex exhaled, feeling the tension drain from his body. "Well done," Lyria said softly. "You acted quickly, observed carefully, and adapted. That is precisely what this situation required." Alex shrugged modestly. "Humans are good at solving problems. We rely on observation, intuition, and a little improvisation when things go wrong." Lyria nodded, a small smile forming. "Indeed. Today you have demonstrated qualities that are highly respected among my people. Courage, intelligence, and adaptability. These are traits we value greatly." Alex studied her. "Your people, they measure everything, even mistakes, but they also recognize skill and ingenuity. I can see why you are held in such high regard." Lyria's gaze softened. "You have learned quickly, Captain Mercer. That is why you are here. Humans are clever, and sometimes cleverness is the key to survival, not just for individuals but for entire species." Alex glanced around the laboratory. The instruments, the habitats, the glowing fluids, all represented a careful balance of risk and understanding. He realized that Lyria's experiments were not just scientific, they were philosophical. Each one reflected a respect for life, combined with a desire to learn and improve. "Tell me," Alex said, "what happens if an experiment goes wrong? Do you ever fail?" Lyria considered him for a moment. "Failures occur. They teach us lessons that success cannot, but we design our systems to minimize harm and maximize understanding. Observation and caution guide every action. That is why trust and skill are essential." As they continued their tour, Alex noticed another section of the laboratory. This area contained larger habitats, each with more complex creatures. Some moved with fluid intelligence, responding to light, sound, and even thought. Others were more mechanical, semi-organic constructs designed to test resilience and adaptability. Alex felt a thrill of excitement. He had always been fascinated by life in its many forms, and here he was witnessing evolution, engineering, and adaptation combined in ways humans had only imagined. "Captain Mercer," Lyria said, "you will now observe an advanced demonstration. It involves the integration of environmental variables with the creature's decision-making processes. Your task is to monitor, assess, and intervene only if necessary." Alex nodded. Humans excelled at improvisation, especially when observation and analysis guided action. He approached the habitat carefully, studying the creature inside. It hovered calmly, wings spreading faint arcs of light and eyes glowing softly. A subtle shift occurred. The environment inside the habitat changed suddenly. Light dimmed, temperature fluctuated, and energy fields shifted. The creature reacted immediately, wings flaring in a dazzling display of movement and energy. Sparks flew, striking nearby instruments. Alex moved quickly, adjusting the controls to stabilize the fields. He created a temporary shield to protect the instruments and redirected energy to guide the creature. The arcs of light intensified for a moment, but Alex's careful adjustments prevented harm. Lyria watched closely, her expression one of intense focus. "You are doing well," she said. "Notice its reactions. Every movement teaches you something about its adaptability." Alex observed the creature, noting its patterns and responses. It reacted to subtle changes in energy, light, and temperature, testing boundaries and exploring options. He adjusted the habitat's systems in real time, matching its movements and guiding it safely. Finally, the creature settled in the center of the habitat, wings glowing steadily, no sparks flying. The environmental variables normalized and the instruments returned to stable operation. Alex exhaled, feeling the weight of the challenge lift from his shoulders. "That was impressive," Lyria said softly. "You did not panic. You observed, adapted, and solved the problem. That is the essence of human ingenuity." Alex smiled faintly. "It was a team effort, me, the systems, and a little luck," Lyria nodded. "Luck is a factor, yes, but skill determines how luck is used. You have proven your skill today." For the first time, Alex felt a true sense of connection with Lyria and her people. He realized that humans were not alone in their capacity for intelligence and problem-solving. The Avirian valued similar qualities, even if they applied them in ways far beyond human understanding. As the day progressed, Lyria and Alex discussed the broader implications of the experiments. She explained how adaptability, observation, and intelligence could be applied to diplomacy, survival, and cooperation across worlds. Alex listened intently, absorbing lessons that were both practical and philosophical. By late afternoon, the laboratory was calm once more. The creatures rested in their habitats, the instruments glowed softly, and the air was filled with a sense of quiet achievement. Alex felt a mixture of pride and humility. He had faced unexpected challenges, acted decisively, and demonstrated qualities that earned Lyria's respect. "You see, Captain Mercer," Lyria said softly as they walked toward the terrace, "intelligence alone is not enough. Wisdom, observation, and adaptability are equally important. Humans possess these qualities even if you underestimate them. Today you proved that to me, and perhaps to yourself." Alex looked out over the glowing forest below, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. He had thought the alien woman was innocent when she invited him here, but he now understood the depth of her purpose. Lyria's charm had been genuine, yet her intentions were deliberate. She had tested him, guided him, and revealed not just the wonders of her home, but the value of human qualities in a world far beyond Earth. "I understand," he said quietly, "and I will remember it." Lyria smiled faintly. "Good. The universe is full of challenges. Observation, courage, and ingenuity will carry you far. Remember what you have learned here." As night fell, the lights of the forest shimmered like countless tiny stars. Alex stood with Lyria on the terrace, reflecting on the day's events. He had thought himself merely a visitor, but he realized he had become a participant in a... The next morning on Aviria was calm, with soft light spilling over the floating structure. Captain Alex Mercer stood at the edge of a terrace, gazing at the bioluminescent forest below. The events of the previous days weighed on his mind. Lyria's home had revealed brilliance, intelligence, and subtle tests that had pushed him to rely on his human ingenuity. Yet, despite the challenges, he felt a sense of respect and understanding growing within him, not just for Lyria, but for her people as a whole. Lyria joined him silently. She had a serene expression, her golden eyes reflecting the early light. "Captain Mercer," she said softly, "today we will conclude your visit. But first I wish to show you something that has not yet been revealed." Alex followed her through corridors that curved like branches of great trees. The building seemed to respond to their presence, adjusting light and temperature to create a sense of calm. They reached a large observation chamber, the largest Alex had seen yet. Transparent walls offered a panoramic view of the forest and the floating crystal spires beyond. "This chamber," Lyria said, "is where we observe connections, not just within our world, but with others. Life is linked in ways that are invisible yet profound, and today you will see a part of our work that has never been shown to outsiders." Alex felt a thrill of anticipation. He had already witnessed experiments, environmental adaptations, and the intelligence of Avirian creatures. What could be next? Inside the chamber, a series of holographic displays activated, revealing simulations of multiple planets, ecosystems, and life forms. Alex saw alien species interacting, adapting, and evolving. Some creatures displayed intelligence similar to humans. Others were entirely foreign, moving in ways he could not predict. "These simulations," Lyria explained, "represent the potential of life across galaxies. We study how species adapt, interact, and survive under diverse conditions. Our goal is not control, but understanding, cooperation, and harmony." Alex watched closely, fascinated. The simulations showed complex interactions, predator and prey, symbiotic relationships, and even small societies forming and communicating. He realized that the Avirian were not merely scientists, they were philosophers seeking to understand life itself. "This is incredible," Alex said. "Your people, you think on a scale I cannot imagine. The patience, the observation, the intelligence." Lyria smiled faintly. "Yes, we are cautious, but we are also curious. And we value intelligence, adaptability, and courage. Qualities humans have shown in abundance during your visit." Alex's mind wandered to the events of the past days. The containment challenge, the creature's unpredictability, and his own quick thinking. He had relied on observation, improvisation, and calm decision-making. The experiences had tested him in ways he had not expected, and he now saw the true meaning behind Lyria's invitation. "You have been tested," Lyria continued, "not to deceive you, but to reveal your own strengths. Humans possess qualities that are rare and respected even among advanced civilizations: ingenuity, courage, and the ability to adapt." Alex nodded slowly. "I understand now. I thought I was just a guest observing your world, but I see that I was part of it, learning and demonstrating what humans can do." Lyria's expression softened. "Exactly. You have shown respect, intelligence, and bravery. Your actions reflect the best of humanity." Alex felt a surge of pride. For the first time in this journey, he realized that human ingenuity was not inferior, but complementary to the brilliance of other species. Even in a world as advanced as Aviria, humans had something unique to offer. The chamber's simulations shifted, showing creatures and ecosystems in potential danger, natural disasters, sudden environmental changes, and other challenges. Lyria explained how Avirian studies aimed to predict and understand these events, preparing solutions that could save lives and preserve ecosystems. Alex understood the parallel to his own world. Humanity had faced challenges across the stars, using intelligence and resourcefulness to survive and thrive. The principles were the same: observe, understand, adapt, and act. "You see," Lyria said, "we learn not just from success, but from challenges and unpredictability. Observation alone is not enough. It must be combined with courage and ingenuity. That is what you demonstrated when faced with the unexpected yesterday." Alex reflected on the containment incident. He had thought of himself as just a visitor, yet he had acted decisively, protecting both the creature and the instruments. Lyria's words affirmed what he already suspected: that humans were capable of remarkable achievements when they trusted their instincts and intellect. "Captain Mercer," Lyria continued, "your visit has not only been a learning experience for you, It has been a reminder to my people that intelligence and courage exist in many forms. Humanity has qualities that are rare and valuable. Alex felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had entered this world with curiosity and caution, and he was leaving with understanding and respect. Lyria's tests had not been traps, but opportunities to demonstrate the strength of human qualities. The holographic displays shifted again, showing interactions between humans and Avirian scientists. Simulated projects illustrated cooperation, problem-solving, and mutual respect. Alex saw the potential for collaboration between their species. Combining human adaptability with Avirian intelligence could lead to incredible discoveries and achievements. You have given my people insight into human potential, Lyria said softly, and in return you have gained understanding of ours. Cooperation, respect, and shared knowledge are the foundations of lasting alliances. Alex nodded. I see that clearly now. Humans and Avirian together we can accomplish much more than either alone. Lyria's eyes glimmered with approval. Indeed, and that is the lesson I wished you to learn. Trust in your abilities, observe carefully, and act with wisdom. Humanity is respected for these qualities, and you have proven why. Alex felt a profound sense of connection to Lyria and her people. He had thought her innocent when she had invited him, but he now understood that her purpose had been deliberate and instructive. She had challenged him, guided him, and revealed the strengths that humanity could offer even in a world far beyond Earth. Captain Mercer, Lyria said, your visit is coming to an end, but I hope this experience will guide you in your work, your travels, and your interactions across the stars. Remember the lessons you have learned here. I will, Alex said, feeling the weight and honor of her words. I will carry this knowledge with me, and I will honor the trust you have shown. Lyria gestured toward the terrace. Before you depart, let us look one last time upon Aviria. The beauty of our world, the intelligence of our people, and the potential of life are intertwined. Remember that every world holds challenges and opportunities. Humanity is capable of rising to both. Alex stepped onto the terrace. The bioluminescent forest stretched endlessly, and the crystal spires glimmered in the sunlight. He felt a deep sense of awe, realizing that he had witnessed more than beauty. He had witnessed wisdom, intelligence, and the deliberate cultivation of life. This is extraordinary, he said softly. Your world, your people, it's beyond anything I could have imagined, Lyria smiled. And yet your people, humans, possess qualities that are equally extraordinary. Courage, ingenuity, and adaptability. These are what make humans respected even in a galaxy of brilliance. Alex felt pride, tempered by humility. He had learned that intelligence alone was not enough. Observation, adaptability, courage, and wisdom were equally important. Humans had demonstrated these qualities time and again, and he had proven them in the face of challenge. You have changed my perspective, Lyria continued. Humans are not just explorers or settlers. You are innovators, problem solvers, and capable allies. Today you have shown why humanity can thrive even among advanced civilizations. Alex nodded. And I have learned from you as well. Your methods, your philosophy, your respect for life, they are lessons I will carry with me. They stood together in silence for a moment, gazing at the glowing forest and the floating crystals. The air was filled with quiet beauty, a reminder that intelligence, wisdom, and courage could coexist in harmony. Finally, Lyria spoke. Captain Mercer, it is time for you to depart. Remember what you have learned and carry it forward. Humanity is respected, and I hope you will continue to demonstrate the best of your people wherever you go. Alex felt a mixture of pride and gratitude. Thank you, Lyria, for the invitation, the lessons, and the trust. I will honor it. They walked together to the transport, and Alex took one last look at the structure. It was more than a home. It was a testament to intelligence, careful observation, and the pursuit of knowledge. And it was a reminder that humans, too, had qualities that could inspire respect and admiration. As the transport lifted off, Alex gazed at the bioluminescent forest below. He thought of the challenges he had faced, the creatures he had observed, and the lessons Lyria had imparted. Humanity had proven its ingenuity and courage, and he had experienced it firsthand. Lyria's words echoed in his mind. Courage, intelligence, and adaptability. These are traits we value greatly. Alex knew that humans could thrive among the stars. They were capable of overcoming challenges, learning from others and earning respect across civilizations. And he felt a profound sense of pride in his species, knowing that even in a world of brilliance like Averia, humans could